Archangel Michael says, "Your mother from heaven is sending you a final message, open it before it's too late." Sometimes the voice that calls you home isn't loud. It doesn't come with thunder or fire. It whispers softly in the quiet corners of your day, like the gentle touch of sunlight on your shoulder when you're weary. It's a message soaked in love, sent from heaven, flowing from the heart of a mother who has never stopped praying for you. She sees the cracks in your heart, the battles you hide behind your smile, and she longs for you to turn your face back toward the light. This message isn't written in letters or wrapped in gold. It comes wrapped in grace, carried by angels, anchored in the mercy of God. And this is your moment to hear it. Type Amen if you believe. There is a kind of love that doesn't fade with time, one that crosses eternity, built not of this world, but born from the divine heart of God. That love is watching over you now. When you feel alone in a crowd, when your heart aches in silence, when the world feels too heavy to carry on your shoulders, remember this: heaven sees you. You were never forgotten. Not for a moment. Every breath you've taken was known to your Creator. Every tear that fell when no one was watching was caught by unseen hands. There is a record of every cry, and none of them have gone unnoticed. You may think you've wandered too far, that your prayers have floated into an empty sky, that no one heard, that maybe you don't deserve an answer anymore. But those are lies whispered by the shadows. Because your name is still written on the palm of God's hand. Because your story isn't over. Because Jesus has never stopped reaching for you. And now, through this message, your mother from heaven is asking you to listen, because time is precious, and love never forces its way in, it only invites. There's something deep inside you that still remembers the light. Even if it's buried beneath pain, even if it's been quiet for years, there is a flicker of something sacred still alive in you. The enemy has tried to bury it under shame, under fear, under doubt, but what God plants cannot be destroyed. It only waits for the water of faith, the warmth of hope, the breath of the Spirit. You are not too late. You have not missed your moment. This message has found you on purpose. It's God's way of reaching through the noise to say, come back. Come closer. Come home. Type 222 if you trust in God. There is no wound too deep for the healing hands of Jesus. No past too broken for His mercy to restore. When He looks at you, He doesn't see your mistakes or your regrets. He sees His child. His beloved. The one He gave everything to save. And even now, He is near, closer than the air you breathe, waiting patiently for your heart to open just a little more. Every moment you've ever longed for love that doesn't leave, for peace that doesn't shatter, for joy that doesn't fade, it's found in Him. And your mother from heaven knows this, because she has seen the glory that awaits you if you say yes. This 9-word phrase was once buried under government secrecy, but now it's resurfacing, sparking a global wave of prosperity stories. Experts reveal it reactivates a money magnet section of your brain most people never use. Say it once daily and watch financial blocks vanish. But this page could vanish too. Click the link in the description and comments before it's gone. She is praying for you in the presence of the Father. She is interceding with love so deep it moves the heavens. She knows how hard life can be. She knows how cruel the world has been to your heart. And still, she believes in your story. She believes you can rise again. That you can walk forward with Jesus holding your hand. That you can be free. This message is not meant to scare you or shame you. It's meant to remind you that you are more than your wounds. You are more than your failures. You are more than the silence you've grown used to. You are called. You are chosen. You are seen. And no matter how far you feel from grace, it is reaching for you right now, through this moment. Through these words. Through the whisper of a heavenly voice calling your name like it always has. Jesus is not a stranger to your pain. He carried it. Every drop of sorrow. Every moment of betrayal. Every time you were rejected, overlooked, misunderstood, He lived it too. And because of that, He can walk with you through it all, not from a distance, but as a Savior who knows what it feels like to bleed, to cry, to be human. He gave His life so that nothing could separate you from the love of God. That's the kind of love that has no ending, the kind that won't let you go, the kind that never gives up. So if your heart is tired, if your soul feels dry, if hope feels far away, know that heaven has not stopped believing in you. The voice of your mother from heaven is not one of judgment, but of mercy. She is asking you to pause, to breathe, to let this be the moment you say yes, not just with your lips, but with your heart. Let God into the places you've locked away. Let Jesus bring light into the corners you thought would stay dark forever. Let grace write a new chapter. Your mother from heaven, wrapped in light and grace, is calling out to you through this message with a love deeper than the oceans, stronger than sorrow, and softer than anything this world can give. She sees the burden in your heart, the weight you carry silently, and she longs for you to know that it was never yours to carry alone. Her message is not to frighten you, but to lead you back into the arms of the one who loves you most, Jesus Christ. Type 222 if you believe God is still working in your life. You were never meant to navigate this life by your strength. That's why your soul cries out in the stillness. That's why even in moments of joy, there is a whisper inside you longing for something more lasting. Because you were created not just for survival, but for communion, with God, with truth, with the eternal. The world offers quick comfort, but it always fades. What Jesus offers never fades. It grows. It heals. It changes everything. He came not to fix things on the surface, but to transform you from within. And right now, He is knocking gently at the door of your heart, not demanding, but inviting. There is so much noise in the world today. So many voices that pull you in different directions. Some speak fear, some speak shame, and others tell you that you're not enough. But only one voice can quiet the storm in your spirit. Only one voice brings real peace. That is the voice of Jesus, the voice your mother in heaven wants you to hear again before it's too late. Because time moves fast. Days slip by. And without realizing it, you can drift farther from the place your heart was made to rest. But it's never too far for God to reach. Never too far for Jesus to restore. You may think you're forgotten. That your quiet prayers have vanished into the silence. But heaven has heard every word. There is not a single sigh, not one whispered hope, that God has ignored. He stores them, treasures them, and responds in His perfect timing. This message comes now because the time is right, because your soul is ready, even if you feel unworthy. This is grace. Grace doesn't wait until you feel strong. It comes to find you in your weakness. It doesn't demand perfection. It meets you exactly where you are, with love that covers every scar. Type 555 if you trust Jesus is leading you even when you don't see the way. There is a healing that Jesus offers that can't be found anywhere else. Not in people, not in possessions, not even in understanding. It's a healing that happens when you stop running and let yourself be found. When you stop pretending and let yourself be seen. He sees you. Not just who you try to be, but who you really are, your heart, your wounds, your story. And He loves you just the same. He doesn't flinch at your brokenness. He doesn't back away from your questions. He draws near. Your mother from heaven is weeping with love for you. She's watched every step you've taken, even the ones that led you into pain. She has never left your side. And now, her heart longs for you to understand just how deeply you are loved, just how precious you are to God. This world may have failed you. People may have disappointed you. But Jesus has never failed. He has never walked away. And He never will. You don't have to carry shame anymore. You don't have to carry fear. Those were never yours to bear. Jesus took them already. When He stretched His arms on the cross, He did it so that you could be free. Free from guilt. Free from fear. Free to live the life you were meant for, a life rooted in the love of God. That life doesn't mean everything will be easy. But it does mean that you will never be alone again. And that is the promise your mother from heaven is reminding you of now. Let this be the moment you say yes. Not because you have it all figured out, but because deep inside, you know this is truth. Let the light in. Let hope rise. Let Jesus hold the pieces you've tried to keep hidden. He doesn't just want your victories, He wants your sorrows too. He doesn't just love who you pretend to be, He loves the real you. The one who cries at night. The one who wonders if there's still time to begin again. There is. The world will always try to distract you, to convince you that you need to earn love, that you need to be more, do more, become someone else to be accepted. But heaven's message is simple: you are already loved. Just as you are. You are already chosen. Already seen. Already called. Jesus didn't come for the perfect. He came for the lost. For the hurting. For the forgotten. For you. So take this message as a gift. A lifeline from heaven. Your mother's voice, echoing through eternity, calling you back to the heart of God. You are not alone. You are not abandoned. You are not too broken. And you are not too late. There is still time to open your heart and receive what only Jesus can give. She comes with tenderness, not to remind you of what you've lost, but to reassure you of what you still have, because even in the darkest hours, God has never stopped watching over you, guiding you, and calling you back toward a peace that cannot be taken by the storms of this world. Type 777 if you feel heaven touching your heart today. Sometimes your heart grows tired from everything you've endured. Life can carve deep valleys inside you, valleys you don't always understand, valleys that make you wonder if anyone truly sees your struggle. But heaven sees. Your mother from heaven has witnessed every sorrow you tried to swallow on your own, every night you laid awake hoping the morning would hurt a little less, every moment you forced yourself to keep going even though your spirit felt fragile. She has been reaching for you, praying for you, and whispering to God about the dreams still alive inside your soul. She wants you to know that even when you feel forgotten, you are remembered more deeply than you can comprehend, remembered by the one who shaped your heart with divine purpose. Every second you wait, wealth meant for you slips into someone else's hands. A hidden brain wave, once buried in CIA files, has been proven to awaken unstoppable prosperity. In just 7 minutes, you can unlock the switch inside your mind that draws abundance like a magnet. This is more than an opportunity, it is destiny knocking. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate your hidden wealth wave right now. You may feel like your journey has been full of twists you never expected, challenges you never wanted, and lessons that came with more tears than answers. But every step has carried meaning, even when you could not see it. Jesus has walked beside you through every chapter, even the ones that felt too heavy to lift, even the ones you wished you could erase. He never turned away, never grew weary of your prayers, never stopped believing in who you can become with His love guiding your life. The world might measure your worth by success, strength, or perfection, but Jesus measures you by your heart, your hope, and your willingness to rise again even after pain tried to break you. There is something sacred happening within you right now. Something gentle. Something holy. It's the stirring of your soul waking up to the truth that you have never been alone. It's the realization that every hardship you faced was not a sign of abandonment but an invitation to grow closer to God, to lean into His embrace, and to discover a strength that does not come from your own power. Heaven is drawing you nearer. Your mother from heaven is guiding you closer to the arms of Jesus, because she knows that in His presence you will find the healing your heart has been longing for. She wants you to know that nothing about your life is random. Every experience, whether joyful or painful, has shaped the depth within you, the compassion you carry, and the resilience you may not fully recognize yet. Even the moments that wounded you deeply have forged in you a tenderness that heaven treasures. You've learned to love harder because you've been hurt. You've learned to listen more carefully because you've been misunderstood. You've learned to care more deeply because you know what it feels like to be overlooked. These are not weaknesses. These are the marks of a soul touched by God. Type 333 if you trust Jesus is healing you in His timing. Heaven's message today is not about fear or urgency in the way the world understands it. It is about awakening, about not waiting any longer to let God do the work in your heart that you have postponed out of fear, doubt, confusion, or exhaustion. Your mother from heaven is calling you gently, reminding you that there is still time to turn toward the light, still time to restore your faith, still time to let Jesus lead you into the life of peace and purpose that was meant for you from the very beginning. She is urging you not to delay the healing that heaven is ready to pour into you. There is a tenderness in the way Jesus looks at you, a deep understanding of every wound, every disappointment, every hope you've held on to even in silence. He understands the moments you faltered, the times you doubted, the seasons when you didn't know how to pray. He knows that your faith has not always been steady, but he treasures the fact that you've tried, that you've reached for him even when your heart felt weak. Faith was never about perfection. Faith has always been about the courage to keep opening your heart, even when life has made you cautious. Your mother from heaven is praying that you will allow Jesus to fill the empty places inside you, the places where loneliness grew quietly, the places where fear settled, the places where memories still ache. She knows that Jesus is the only one who can restore your joy fully, the only one who can reach the deep corners of your spirit, the only one who can rewrite your future with beauty that surpasses the pain of your past. She has watched you carry burdens that were never meant to be carried alone, and she longs for you to place them at the feet of Christ, where they will lose their power over your heart. There is a gentle truth heaven wants you to understand: you have been harder on yourself than God has ever been. You've judged yourself for mistakes Jesus has already forgiven. You've carried guilt heaven has already lifted. You've clung to memories that God wants to heal. Your mother from heaven wants you to release the weight you've held onto for too long, because it is time to breathe again, time to hope again, time to let God remind you who you truly are, His beloved child. This message comes with love stronger than any storm you've faced, love that cannot be shaken. You are being guided back to the place where peace lives, where healing begins, where God's voice becomes louder than the noise of the world. Your mother from heaven is lighting the path before you, whispering to your heart that it is safe to trust again, safe to believe again, safe to let Jesus lead you into the purpose that has always been yours. Now, with gentle urgency, she is sending you this sacred part of her message, because there is still more life waiting for you, still more healing to receive, and still a beautiful purpose that only you can fulfill with God's hand upon you. Type 444 if your heart is ready to receive God's grace today. There have been days where your strength was so small, you didn't think you could take another step forward. Days when grief wrapped itself around you like a storm, and hope felt too far to reach. In those moments, heaven was not far. Jesus was sitting beside you, not just watching, but weeping with you, holding your soul in His hands like the precious treasure it is. The love He has for you is not earned. It does not fade with time. It does not weaken when you struggle. His love is constant, and it has been chasing you through every chapter, waiting for you to finally stop running and simply fall into His arms. The struggles you've faced were never your fault. A hidden brain frequency, once buried in secret research, has been silently holding back your wealth. Now, for the first time, it is available to you, and it only takes minutes to activate. Imagine the chains of debt breaking, the doors of opportunity opening, and your life flooding with prosperity. This chance may never return. Click the link in the video description and comments below to claim it now. Your mother from heaven has not missed a moment. She knows the battles you've fought in silence. She knows how hard you've tried to hold everything together. And she is not disappointed in you. She is proud of you. Proud that you kept going, proud that you didn't let the darkness win, proud that somewhere deep inside, your soul still longs for God. You may not see it, but she sees the beauty of your perseverance, the light still flickering in your spirit, and the miracle that your life truly is. Sometimes your heart just needs to rest. Not from responsibility or routine, but from the invisible weight of wondering if you matter, if you're enough, if you're loved. The answer is yes. You matter more than you'll ever know. You are enough because you are His. And you are loved with a love that nothing on earth can explain. Heaven rejoices every time your heart leans even slightly toward God. Every small prayer, every whispered, "Help me," every quiet moment of surrender is seen, heard, and treasured. These things are not small in heaven. They are everything. Your mother's message is simple, yet powerful: don't wait. Don't wait to forgive yourself. Don't wait to speak to Jesus again. Don't wait to open your heart wider. Don't wait to receive the peace you've been aching for. Life will always give you reasons to delay your healing, but Jesus is offering you restoration now. Not someday. Now. There is nothing you need to fix before coming to Him. There is no condition you must meet. Just come. As you are. With all your mess, your fear, your questions, and your hopes. Type 1010 if you are ready to walk into God's light again. You may be standing at the edge of a new beginning and not even realize it. Sometimes the turning point doesn't look like a miracle. Sometimes it looks like a quiet yes whispered through tears, or a small moment of surrender when no one else sees. God doesn't need grand gestures to do holy things in your life. He only needs your willingness. The moment you open your heart and say, "I'm ready," He begins to move in ways you cannot yet imagine. He begins to restore what was broken. He begins to unlock the blessings that have been waiting for you. Your mother from heaven knows how hard life has been. She knows how people have hurt you, how circumstances have confused you, how loneliness has sometimes silenced your joy. But she also knows what God is doing behind the scenes. She knows the love being prepared for you. She knows the strength that is growing inside you. She knows that this message is not the end, but the beginning of something sacred. Something real. Something eternal. She is asking you to believe again. To believe that you are not too far gone. To believe that heaven still has plans for your life. There's a peace that Jesus gives that doesn't make sense in the middle of chaos. It's the kind of peace that reaches into your fear and says, "You are safe with me." It doesn't require the world to be perfect. It simply requires trust. That kind of peace is possible. That kind of healing is waiting. It doesn't matter what your past looks like. It doesn't matter what mistakes you've made. In Jesus, every story can be redeemed. Every wound can be healed. Every lost moment can be restored. You don't need to figure everything out. You just need to open your heart. Healing doesn't come when you have all the answers. It comes when you finally admit you need help. And that's not weakness, that's wisdom. That's courage. Your mother from heaven wants you to know that heaven celebrates your courage, even when the world does not. She wants you to remember that God never compares you to anyone else. He made you unique, loved you into being, and sees you as irreplaceable. You are not a burden. You are not a failure. You are not forgotten. You are His child. And He is waiting, not with judgment, but with open arms, ready to cover you in mercy, to surround you with grace, to walk with you every step of the way. This message isn't here to pressure you. It's here to free you. To release you from everything that's been weighing you down. To show you that love is still real, that hope is still alive, and that your best days have not passed you by. Heaven is not done with you. God is not finished writing your story. And Jesus is not done loving you. Your mother from heaven is standing in the light, her hands lifted in prayer for your soul, believing that this is the moment you turn your heart fully toward the one who gave everything to love you. She knows what it means to walk by faith, and she's asking you to take that step, not because you have all the answers, but because God already holds them. She sends you this part of her message not to remind you of the pain you've endured, but to awaken the truth that even in the midst of sorrow, your life still holds a sacred purpose. The moments you thought were lost have not disappeared, they are held in the heart of God, and He is turning even your silence into something beautiful. Type 999 if you believe your story is still being written by God. There is a softness in God's love that many never understand because the world has taught them that love must be earned, proved, or deserved. But your Creator never asked you to be perfect, He only asked you to be willing. Willing to open your heart. Willing to trust Him again. Willing to lay down the weight that you were never meant to carry. Your mother from heaven is gently reminding you that it's okay to begin again. It's okay to feel afraid and still take a step toward healing. It's okay to not know the way forward, because Jesus has always known how to guide you back into His peace. What if you could unlock a secret brain wave that top scientists discovered inside the hippocampus, the very switch that signals wealth and abundance? Hidden from the public for decades, this breakthrough can rewire your mind to attract prosperity faster than you imagined. Picture the stress of bills replaced with financial freedom and new opportunities. Every delay is a missed blessing, and those who act now are already walking into the wealth you deserve. Step forward before the door closes. Click the link in the video description and comments below to activate this ancient money wave and step into abundance today. There were nights when no one heard your tears, when your prayers felt like they echoed into nothing. But God heard every word. Heaven caught every tear. And your mother from heaven was there too, praying beside you, holding your spirit with the strength of love that goes beyond this life. You were never alone in your pain. You were never forgotten in your silence. What you've been through hasn't disqualified you from the love of God, it has only deepened His desire to restore you. And that restoration begins the moment you say, "Jesus, I'm ready." Maybe your heart has grown weary from waiting. Maybe you've asked, when will the healing come? When will peace return? The truth is, healing does not always arrive with loud miracles or overnight changes. Sometimes it comes in quiet ways, through a sudden feeling of peace in your chest, through a word that meets you in the right moment, through a message like this, sent from heaven just to remind you that God is still near. That your wounds are not forgotten. That your spirit is still deeply loved. Type 888 if you know heaven is speaking to your heart today. Your mother from heaven understands the fears that still linger in the back of your mind, the fear that maybe it's too late, that maybe you missed your chance. But in God's love, there is no such thing as too late. Time does not limit what grace can restore. Every breath you take is proof that God still has a plan for your life. His mercy renews with the sunrise, and His presence does not wait for you to be perfect. He comes to you in your weakness, not to condemn you, but to hold you. To gently lift your face and remind you that you are still His child. Let your soul rest in that truth for a moment. You are still His child. Not an outsider. Not a mistake. Not someone who slipped through the cracks. You were chosen, and you are still being chosen, every single day, by the one who gave everything just to love you. Your mother in heaven stands with the angels, not in sorrow over who you are, but in joy over who you are becoming. She sees the light returning to your eyes. She sees your heart turning again toward hope. And she is rejoicing. There is no shame in needing healing. There is no shame in admitting you're tired. Heaven does not look down on your struggles. Instead, it opens wide the arms of Jesus, who says, "Come to me, and I will give you rest." That rest is not a break from life, but a deep, soul-level peace that says you don't have to carry the weight anymore. You don't have to hide. You don't have to pretend. You only need to let yourself be loved. And in that love, you will find everything your soul has been searching for. Not just comfort, but clarity. Not just relief, but renewal. Jesus isn't here to patch up your pain and send you on your way. He is here to walk with you, to dwell in the center of your life, to make your heart His home. He wants to turn your mourning into joy, not by erasing your past, but by using it to create a future that is full of light, full of grace, and full of Him. There will still be storms. There will still be questions. But you will no longer face them alone. When Jesus is at your side, no battle is lost before it begins. When your life is rooted in His presence, nothing the enemy meant for harm can stand. You become stronger, not because life gets easier, but because your heart is held by the one who already conquered every fear, every sorrow, every death. You are not being asked to figure it all out today. You are simply being invited to receive what heaven is offering you in this moment. The message of love. The call to healing. The truth that grace has already been extended to you. And the promise that even now, your story is not over. There is still more for you. More peace. More purpose. More of God's love to discover, to carry, and to share. Your mother from heaven is not just watching over you, she is believing in you. She knows the road ahead will not always be easy, but she also knows that with Jesus, you can walk it with strength you never knew you had. She sees the goodness in your heart, the quiet faith that has survived more than anyone knows, and the light you carry that will one day shine so brightly, others will find their way home because of it. This message she sends you now is not about looking back in regret, but about opening your spirit to what is still possible with God. It's about helping you remember who you are, even when life has made you question your worth, your path, or your place in this world. Type 666 if you trust Jesus is walking beside you through every season. There is a soft strength in the love of Jesus, a strength that doesn't demand, doesn't rush, but gently waits for you to look up and realize He's never stopped being there. He has walked behind you when you couldn't bear to be seen. He has walked ahead of you when you were too afraid to take the next step. And He has walked beside you when your soul needed someone just to stay. That is the kind of love your mother from heaven is asking you to embrace again. The kind of love that holds no conditions. That gives without limit. That never walks away. You've tried to carry things on your own for too long. Wounds too deep for words. Memories you tuck away where no one can reach them. Burdens that were never yours to begin with. And while you've grown strong on the outside, heaven knows the quiet tremble in your heart. The way you smile even when your spirit feels tired. The way you've learned to survive, even while yearning to simply be held. This message is a whisper through the veil, a sacred invitation to stop surviving, and start receiving. Receiving the rest, the love, the peace that only Jesus can give. A mysterious 9-word prayer once sealed inside a private government vault is now resurfacing, and people everywhere are seeing financial breakthroughs overnight. Experts say it triggers a long silent part of the human brain responsible for abundance and wealth attraction. It takes less than 30 seconds to repeat, yet it's turning struggle into prosperity. Thousands are reporting cleared loans, sudden cash inflows, and unexpected blessings. Click the link in the description and comments before this secret disappears again. Your mother in heaven has seen every time you've given more than you had. Every time you loved someone who didn't stay. Every time you held others up, even when your knees were weak. And she wants you to know that none of it was unseen. None of it was in vain. Heaven counts the kindness you gave when no one said thank you. Heaven sees the prayers you prayed for others even when your own heart was breaking. You are not unnoticed. You are deeply known. And you are loved in a way that no earthly words can explain. You don't have to earn God's love. You never did. His love is not a reward for good behavior. It's the foundation of your very being. Before you ever knew how to speak His name, He knew every detail of your life. And still, He called you His. That hasn't changed. No mistake you've made, no pain you've carried, no detour you've taken has altered the truth that you are wanted. God isn't waiting for you to be stronger. He's waiting for you to let Him carry what you were never meant to bear alone. Type 1212 if you walk by faith, even when your steps feel uncertain. Sometimes faith is not loud. It's not about perfect prayers or flawless trust. Sometimes faith is simply waking up and whispering, "God, please help me try again." Sometimes it's holding on when you don't see results. Sometimes it's choosing love when bitterness would be easier. And that kind of faith moves heaven. That kind of faith opens doors. That kind of faith, no matter how small, is precious in God's eyes. Your mother in heaven celebrates every tiny act of faith you've shown. Every time you chose kindness when anger knocked at your door. Every time you chose to believe that things could still change, even with trembling hands. Jesus isn't looking for perfection in you. He's looking for connection. He wants to sit with you in the quiet. Walk with you through the storms. Laugh with you in your joy and hold you close in your grief. He's not far off. He's right here. Ready. Willing. Patient. Waiting for you to open your heart just a little more so He can fill it with peace that goes deeper than your fears. Your Mother from heaven is lifting her prayers in your name as you read this. She's asking the Father to strengthen your spirit, to comfort your soul, and to remind you of how deeply you are still needed in this world. You may not see it, but you are someone's answer to prayer. Your life, with all its ups and downs, has the power to touch others in ways you'll never fully realize. You are not just surviving for yourself. You are shining light into places others thought would stay dark forever. It's okay to rest. It's okay to breathe. It's okay to not have all the answers. Healing isn't about doing more. It's about letting God be who He already is, your provider, your shepherd, your defender, your friend. Your life is not over. Your best days are not behind you. With Jesus, there is always more healing, more beauty, more love, more strength, more purpose. You are stepping into something sacred now, not because everything around you has changed, but because your heart is opening to the one who never stopped believing in you. And He wants to remind you that this pain will not last forever. This season of uncertainty, this chapter of struggle, it is not the end. It is simply part of the story. And the author of your story is still writing. Every tear you've cried is being used to water something beautiful. Every prayer you've whispered is echoing through heaven's courts. And every moment you choose love, even when it's hard, is building something eternal. You are here for a reason. You are reading this message not by chance, but by divine timing. Heaven knew the exact moment your heart would need to hear these words. Your Mother from heaven is holding your name like a song in her spirit, praying that you remember who you are, not the version this world tried to shape, but the one God created with love, with purpose, with light. Let go of what weighs you down. Let go of the lie that says you're too late. You are right on time for a miracle. Right on time for healing. Right on time to return to the arms that have never stopped being open to you. Jesus isn't asking for everything today. He's only asking for your heart. And when you give Him even the smallest part, He will do more with it than you can imagine. And now, through the breath of heaven, she gently reaches toward your soul to remind you of something that the world may have made you forget, that you were created for a love that never fails, a purpose that cannot be lost, and a peace that nothing on earth can take away once Jesus places it within you. Type 1919 to receive miracles in your life through Jesus Christ. She knows how long you've been carrying the unspoken ache in your chest. The one that sits beneath your laughter, beneath your daily routines, beneath the strong front you show to others. She knows how you've prayed in the quiet, not with loud words, but with tired eyes and silent hopes. That's why this message finds you now. Not to stir guilt or sorrow, but to pull you back into the warmth of God's love, where the heaviness can finally fall away and your heart can breathe again. It doesn't matter how far you think you've gone or how long it's been since you felt close to God. Heaven doesn't keep count like that. God's heart is not a clock that times your return. It's a door that stays open, even when you've forgotten how to knock. Amen.